Okay. Louisa, you can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay, for this meeting, this is meeting number 2. So we had our first public art strategy creation meeting last Tuesday. And just an overview of what we talked about. We went through the background of the foundational document. Can you?
I got it.
Thank you. The background of the foundational document that was created with the community. And we talked through vision and the theme for the corridor. And from that, I can just do a brief overview. For the vision, honoring history, reflecting community identity, integrating art and nature, improving wayfinding. I also have the foundational document right up front here, if anyone needs a copy of it. Here we go. And then for art theme, artistic opportunity, key initiatives under the theme celebrating diverse artists and mediums, playful and interactive art, honoring local history and nature, providing opportunities for emerging artists, and balancing branding with creative expression. From this, we talked about functional art that integrates wayfinding, placemaking, art that has another purpose. And we also talked about murals from that. I wrote out notes and I sent it over to you guys, so hopefully everyone got that. And I apologize about the recording. I swear I recorded this one. I swear I recorded the last one too, so I don't know what happened. For this meeting, we're going to be talking about art events, art that promotes sustainability, sculptures, and traffic cabinet wraps. So we have a few more to get through for this meeting. And from the last meeting, what we did was we did a Mentimeter where I had 3 minutes where we wrote out all of our ideas. You just do individual submissions, shows up on the screen. Then we walk through all of those ideas in a discussion, and then we vote after that on our top 5 priorities under that initiative. So I will get all of that ready for us. Any questions before we start? Okay. So this one is specifically about art events in the corridor. What does this look like in terms of the Inglewood South public art strategy? How do we want to approach this? So I'm gonna put a timer for 3 minutes.
I'm gonna run and grab my phone. I left it down in my car.
Oh no. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
We'll wait for Kyle to get back in.
I'm sorry, I may have misheard this. Are we starting now or waiting for Kyle?
Start now. I'll give
Okay.
Kyle a few more minutes to input hers when she gets back. But feel free to start submitting. Oh. Thank you, Martin.
Yep.
I should have been looking for that. Kyle, if you want to put your items in, we can do like
I can just
vote.
Okay, it's totally fine.
Sounds good. Everyone okay with going through these? Okay. Perfect. So first we have collaborative art making for the community. And if anyone wants to elaborate, they are free to do so. Sparkplug Music Festival.
Yes, like, because we go on and on about how awful all the auto places are, it's just like,
Oh.
turn them into an outdoor festival and places, venues play at the different auto lots on the weekend.
Got it. Okay. Light Installation Festival.
What does that mean? Like, at the festival, we're installing lights, or it's a bunch of lights and we just go? So that, I don't know if that was mine. I know last time we talked about having like light installations as art pieces on South Providence. Cool. I think I put something like that, so I'm not sure if that was.
Perfect. So it's like capitalizing on utilizing light installations, but have it be more of an
Right.
experience
Yeah.
event.
Right.
Okay. Art market. Outdoor activations and open spaces. Dedicated gallery space for Inglewood artists. Dog/animal bandana customizing pop to bring people together and reach new people, part of Second Saturday. I believe the community murals from last session were great here, different artists and multiple options for attendees. So last time we discussed having a mural similar to like a checkerboard where there's an artist space dedicated in each square. And then we reach out to artists to fill in those spaces. So they all have like a little piece of it, but it makes a whole mural.
Yeah, and I was also to expand on that, thinking that the way I envisioned it was there's multiple spots in different areas of the corridor, so you kind of almost have to do a scavenger hunt to experience all of them. And maybe the attendees have the option of like getting a pamphlet that they know which mural is going to be where, and then they can contribute to whichever one were and whatever artist they want to learn from. So that was kind of the vision behind it.
Okay, art gallery / creative business walk / open studio.
Just like a First Friday, I mean, we used to do this with the design association I was involved in, where we select certain galleries and there'd be a map, and so there'd be a night that they would all be open, nighttime, so people could go and visit the different creative spaces.
Yeah. Okay. Chalk Art Festival. Coordinated pop-ups at the businesses. Youth educational demo experience days. Low cost or free event. Some educational component. Art made accessible, partner with Access Gallery. Night event with glow items. And then in-store art festival. Partnering with schools, nonprofits, and local makers / artists, businesses to plan an event for Inglewood South. Summer Makers Art Market. Everyone Creates Festival, where there are different stations for the community to collaborate on art projects, highlighting local artists. Holiday themed haunted houses for Halloween for families to trick or treat. Maybe we can replicate this for Valentine's Day or early day?
Earth Day?
Earth Day?
I don't know. I don't know what early day is.
6 a.m.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, early day?
No, yeah, sorry, my thumbs. I was using my phone. Yeah, I did mean Earth Day. And to be transparent about where this came from, I mean, I loved when I was a kid going trick-or-treating, and I think I shared with you guys, like every year I try to see how many trick-or-treaters I could get. And I understand that it could be scary to go to, houses and knock on doors. And I didn't see in the past couple of years like holiday Halloween events. So maybe it would be cool if community members and creatives like myself that like to build all these things want to collaborate with the businesses and build like an experience in different places. Um, so again, with the scavenger and going to different parts and having a different experience, but holiday themed and not early day, Earth Day, just to be clear.
Perfect.
Did anybody see the shadow puppet show that was hosted in the downtown area? That was during the pandemic.
I was gonna say it was a few years back.
Yeah, it was really cool, really well done. Anybody remembers that or who put that on? But it was neat.
I remember that,
remember who put
but
it
just
on.
because there was contention with the commission.
Yep, I recall that too.
Okay, and then Inglewood Arts Festival, and then music event at Bellevue Park. Any questions or discussion about these items, or are you guys ready to vote on the top 5? And then some of these overlap because we have some that are like prioritizing local artists or Inglewood Arts Festival. I'll group them with that. So just do like the idea and then I'll group them all together. Or I can try this thing that says press space for group response.
Do it.
Should I try
Let's
it?
see.
Hopefully.
Or I could press this space.
Oh, wait, it's like AI.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I know, right? I am curious how
there any
voting
missing?
works with it grouped.
We can just vote on like the groups probably.
Yeah. See what happens with
For the
that.
top 5.
Top 5. You have 5 votes.
You can see the drop down of each one.
Okay, perfect.
That is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Oh, and we're voting still on the individual ones, it looks
Yeah,
like.
vote on the individual
Oh,
ones.
Okay.
And they'll be in those categories. I'm gonna post this. I noticed there's too much extra noise in here.
They cooled down again.
I know, that's why I left it open, just because of the heat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm just nervous about this fan too. The bumbo.
Same handout we had last time.
Yes. Yep. Okay, 7 voted.
I mean, I think a chalk art one would be really cool. You've got some really good spaces to do it.
Yep.
And I feel like it would be inexpensive.
Mhm.
Budget concerns.
Yeah,
After you vote, does it say voting results not shared yet for you guys?
not shared yet, yeah.
That means they
Are-
went through those.
Did everyone vote?
Mhm.
We're good? Okay, now,
You're gonna go in there.
top one is art festivals, then featuring local artists, community collaboration, music events, educational activities, and then last one's outdoor spaces. And these will I'll include all of them in the strategy, but the top one is definitely arts festivals and having an overall Inglewood Art Festival. What is happening?
Just trying to teach you how to use their software.
Okay, no, really.
We always love that.
Anyone in disagreement with this? Everything look good?
I disagree with it, but I think since they're categorized, like, can you open up the categories? Because there's 13 votes in that category, but are we voting on categories?
This,
Yeah, so I have art festivals open. There's 13 votes. 4 votes were for Inglewood Arts Festival. 3 create festival where there are different stations for the community to collaborate on art projects, which I feel like that could just be combined into Inglewood Arts Festival.
Right. What I was kind of getting at was, in one of the categories, there were 7 votes, might have been 7, and then nothing for everything else, so.
Yes, yep. So this is like, it's basically grouping them, so it might make it more confusing to do the groups. But, so we had local artists 8, so you can see like of that group, top 3 highlighting local artists, dedicated gallery space for Inglewood artists, art gallery, creative business, walk, open studio. 7, 3 votes, collaborative art making for the community, 3 votes, partnering with schools, nonprofits and local makers, artists, and businesses. And then this one didn't get a vote. How's that?
I guess one of the things I might ask is like, what are we missing that we're trying to solve with this? Like, there's
Like in terms of the art strategy?
Yeah, because like O'Malley has their holiday arts market. So there's that already. And so it's like, is it adding another outdoor summer arts market? You know, is that adding to things, or I guess it's just like, I'm brand new, so I'm not 100% sure how this all works, but you know, it's like how much discussion we have on some of these things.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Inglewood South art strategy, we haven't had it before. So this is all, like, this is brand new to the corridor, just in general.
But technically O'Malley is outside of that corridor, so.
Yes, yep, exactly. So this is specific to that area between 285 and Bellevue, down Broadway. And we're, based off of the art initiatives that were created with the Public Arts Strategy Group, this is where we're now like making priorities in terms of the art strategy on what we want to implement in the corridor and how to implement it with the vision and theme in mind.
And is that tied to feasibility of budgets?
So we're gonna have another meeting after this one. I know. I thought through it at our last meeting because realistically, with the budget that we have, what can we do? Creating a strategy through that. And then this is our wish list. Like, these are the priorities that we've discussed on what we want with the art strategy that we don't have funding for, that we need extra funding for. So it'll be what we can realistically do and what we would need more funding for strategies. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just for me, it's like when I work with clients, it's just like, I like to know, have an idea of their budgets ahead of time, just so it's just like, they may ask for this, and it's just like their budget's this. And so it's like, we don't really need to spend time talking about this when it's not even possible. And so I'm just wondering, like, you know, like a music festival would be great, but it's just like those take.
I will say though, I mean.
Not to say that we can't find funding.
Well, but through the Cultural Arts Commission, we actually brought Swallow Hill into the area and had our first music festival. And so kind of having some vision and dreaming here
Oh, sure.
even though we weren't the lead in it, I think did facilitate that happening. And so even though I don't think the city will fund all these dreams, I think putting them out there is helpful for the broader audience and the community who will look to us and be like, oh, they're hoping for this, who can fill that in? And so I do think it's helpful even if our budget is this.
Yeah,
and
and I'm
we're
just,
dreaming.
like I said, I'm just trying to understand the process a little bit.
Yeah, and another option, I mean, even for the Inglewood Arts Festival, we could collaborate with Second Saturdays. We could collaborate, I mean, we'll have to collaborate with the events group for the Inglewood South corridor. So there's going to be like partnerships that we could capitalize on also that could help us. But
Well,
like with the brainstorming, we wouldn't know until,
and there's a
you know,
lot.
we thought.
And yeah,
And there's a
and
lot.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say there's just a lot of nonprofits too right now that are funding the art festivals. Like when you look at the Cherry Creek Art Festival and the one up in Stapleton or in Central Park, those are funded by nonprofits who run art shows. So again, it's like if we put it out there, maybe they'll want to come here if we have the venue.
Yeah, and I had a positive experience. I mean, not to be that creative, but I know from experience in media, one of the things that we always tell each other is let the creativity flow and then we'll figure it out later. That way we don't stunt ourselves from what could possibly happen if we really work hard to achieving it. And we have to be realistic, don't get me wrong, because money is, we can't just make it out of thin air. But it does help with creativity and some fun things that came from our last session when we were talking about illumination. Somebody from Denver reached out to me. They told me that they're actually trying to do the same thing too. And they're using glow in the dark rocks to illuminate, and it's cost effective, and that's the way that they've kind of made it work for them. So the beauty of talking about it, it kind of gets all of our brains flowing, and then hopefully someone listens and hears like they did, and then give us a little bit of help so that we can make it cost effective for the community.
Okay, ready for our next initiative? Come on. Okay, so next initiative is art that promotes sustainability. This could be art that teaches about sustainability, art that serves as a bee connector network where it's planter pots. I don't want to put ideas in your mind, but things surrounding sustainability in art. And you may begin. I'll put a timer for this. scared me even though I knew it was coming. How is everyone feeling? Do we need more time?
Got my last one.
Good? All right. B hotel sculpture. Landscaping with artists. Trees and flower mini parks. Indoor plant and outdoor seed swap. I've heard studies that greenery helps calm nervous systems, which increase our sense of safety. So maybe we can explore moss installations or native plant showcases. Plants with sculptures or part of the design. Green plant roofs or money for builders to do this. Use auto parts into art. Sculptural trellises. Making community art with natural materials, yard waste, sticks, leaves, etc. Urban garden beds at businesses, grant funded? Question mark. Lucia's B idea, which is basically having a bee path where bees can have sustenance throughout the corridor and make it from flower to flower.
Did you use yourself in the third person there?
I know. No, I didn't. Someone put that in. I promise. Art made from bottle caps, plastic lids, etc. Vertical garden murals on buildings. Recycle bins with wraps for businesses. Native plant gardens with the Native Plant Box Initiative, which is Garden in a Box, and yes, it is still going. Applications open March 11th. Bike stuff, sculptural racks, a path to ride, fun things along the path, etc. Bike ride to art spaces. Plant life shows or translates as growth. Maybe we find a special green corner that grows with care from the community to symbolize our progress through the years.
I had one that, can you add one?
Yes.
I just had, all art events required to have recycling or compost, no plastics,
Okay.
kind of an initiative.
Do you have it written down? You can submit it still.
It's not, I keep hitting submit, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, what the heck?
I can refresh.
Okay, repeat that for me.
Just require, art openings to, like, no plastics. It's all, they're using
Oh, got it.
compostable napkins, plates, glassware, or recyclables.
Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, perfect. Okay. Should I do the group space? No. Okay. I know, it was kind of odd. Okay. Any questions, any discussion that you want to have before voting? I see a lot of sculptures utilizing found objects.
Yeah, found object sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you've got a potential for a lot of collaboration,
Yes.
again, with all the auto part shops and
Yes.
stuff. It's like it could be kind of neat.
Yeah, I just saw Denver Art. They commissioned a sculpture where the artist specializes in utilizing found objects, and they just installed it in a park. It was very cool.
Whoever put vertical garden murals, can you speak a little bit more to what that means?
Yeah, I was just thinking, experimenting maybe with this idea of vertical gardens up a building. I there's a lot of rooftop gardens, but I'm starting to see more and more vertical options. And so I'm just curious, like, how could you play with plant colors along the building and have an artist design it and maybe fill it in with plants? And it might be a way, because I know when we were in the first group, a lot of people were talking about needing more plants on Broadway because it's just missing. And like, could you do garden? And there's not, like, there's a lot of asphalt, right? So like, where could you put that green space? And I was thinking maybe on buildings, like if we look at those buildings as potential garden spaces or building up boxes, that might be a way to add in greenery in ways that we can't along Broadway. So that was kind of my thought of just playing with that.
I was just kind of wondering if, to keep going on that idea, because there are like I don't know what, they used to be called Zip Grow, I think, but it was like you could literally grow food, Berkeley, I think a lot of places had it for a while, I haven't seen it in a while. But there's some places like where you can actually grow in some buildings. So could we also consider doing something like that? Like Grow and Gather has a vertical and they're all indoor, but that could be an interesting way to be sustainable too.
And I always loved, like the public table house, right?
Yeah,
Just like their public gardens, just having more of those spaces. I feel like Denver has a lot of that and we don't have as much like urban garden spaces available. That could be fun as well.
All right, ready to vote? All right, I'm gonna start voting.
I need more votes.
And I'll keep all these ideas. These are just the top 5.
But I have a
Yeah,
top
because some of
10.
them,
What about a top 7?
I know.
well, some of them overlap a little bit, like
Yes.
it's kind of like the auto stuff and the bike stuff and the bike pass. And it's just like this whole idea of conceptually like transportation. There's a path, that ties into the bees. And just like there's.
I tried to make sure I hit the categories.
All right, everyone vote? Okay, perfect. Okay, top 1, vertical garden murals on buildings. Then we have B Hotel sculpture. And then tied with that, bike stuff. Then we have my B idea, which would be honestly collaborating with Parks Rec for that. And then after that, we have a tie between a lot. Used auto parts art, making community art with natural materials, indoor plant and outdoor seed swap, plants with sculptures or part of the design, art made from bottle caps, plastic lids. Oh my gosh, there's so many ties. Plant life shows or translates as growth. Maybe we find a green corner, symbolize our progress, and then require art openings to have no plastics. Is technically our top 5. I can see like having a strategy where we're when we're talking about sculptures, which is next, having a plant theme with the sculptures, or having art that is prioritized with found material objects, and having that as part of a strategy with sustainability. So we can combine these.
And actually, Stuart made me think of something from the last session and this session that I don't know where it would fall, but a functional art piece for collecting our waste along Broadway. Like,
Okay.
Like the coolest trash
well,
truck
like
ever.
those could be artistic and collecting, recycling trash and maybe compost if that dream ever comes alive, but,
Yeah, there's fun stuff like throw a bottle in it and trinkles down, or
Yeah,
like somebody comes once in a while and then goes build something with it.
yeah, I don't know, just
Yeah.
something like functional along there, like that could be a functional art piece that plays with the idea of trash. I don't know. It just is making me think of that between the last 3 sessions. that
No, I
functional
think
art.
that's what I just think of, there's a place in, I want to say it's Portland, where you can like go to a store that has a bunch of things. Like it has like bottle caps or tissue paper, and like you can just use that for art projects. But it's like all these like found things that people are just collecting and you can just grab.
Well, they
It
used,
could be that,
yeah, they used
or
to
it
have
could be
an,
something like compactor.
they used to have an amazing store called Raft for teachers up in North Denver. That was incredible. That was kind of that where
Yeah.
people would dump all their supplies and you could go in with $5 and just come out with the haul for crafting and arting with students. And then it,
Toilet paper too, so you could.
seriously,
Yeah.
it was like a recycling center of goods, but that, I think during the pandemic, disappeared. But yeah, something along those lines, or just having cool trash cans,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Well, some of this too, in theory, could be conditional, so it's like if there's sculptural and you want it to be like plant themed, but it's like the condition is that it still needs to be made out of recycled things.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Yeah.
because it could be a plant themed sculptural, but they may be doing awful things to the environment in the process of building it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I also feel like the Bee Hotel and like my Bee Path, similar vein, as resting places for bees. So like I feel like a lot of these can be combined.
Yeah, and you could combine my idea of like a moss installation, because I was thinking of like a
Yes.
moss wall, so that would also go
Yeah,
with
for
the,
Vertical Garden.
yeah, yeah.
And like the the composting and recycling for art openings, I mean, that could be something that's a condition for the second Saturday group asking for money.
Mhm.
It's like, here's money. And we respectfully request, that the galleries that are doing openings, that they do away with plastics and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, ready for next initiative? Hopefully we have enough time. Okay, sculptures in the corridor. What is your vision for sculptures in the corridor? And just like as a background, last one is the traffic cabinet wraps. We only have one spot left for a traffic cabinet wrap on the corridor. Everything else has been spoken for. So
Well, there's only
keep
one
that in
cabinet
mind.
left.
Yeah, only one cabinet left. So that one might be a quick one where we're like, done. Executed.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We have to start wrapping some other things.
I know.
Lines.
I know. Oh, I'll do a timer.
CDOT's not involved with Broadway, right?
No.
Great.
We should have led with that if that was the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
No, you're good, you're good. Good? Yeah? Okay. Okay, first one, cohesive sculpture theme along the corridor. Trees with roots that also serve as shade/weather protection.
Could I ask, I'm just curious
Yes.
if somebody could expand on the cohesive sculpture theme.
In Greeley, they have trees all the way down the main street. They're all different, but they're all trees.
But there's sculptures of trees?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Trees with roots that also serve as shade and weather protection. Solar activated. Round sculptures that provide a sense of softness against the concrete in buildings. Sculptures paired with mini murals for a scavenger hunt type theme. Easy to maintain. There are rotating sculptural programs. Anderson Ranch is part of one, could be less expensive, and we get a variety of sculptures. Playful ways to enhance objects used in the area, bus stop sculpture or trash can sculpture. Sculptures all have a function besides art: planter, trash bin, bench, information sign, which can also lead into functional art. Median sculptures, it would be nice to have 2 to 3 sculptures along Broadway. Challenge artists to consider tactile and sound for accessibility. Tangle sculpture that people can walk through, like at the Chatfield Botanic Gardens. Sculptures also containing a light element for nighttime. Interactive, inviting play, climbing, changing, etc. Tactile for sight impaired.
You could sort of delete that one because I replaced it with the other one I did.
I don't know if I can delete it. Can't delete it, but just know there's 2. Yeah, you're good. A giant quirky animal sculpture to bring joy and color. A light up sculpture to bring some added warmth and color at night. Having images of plants and flower sculptures, since you find that theme throughout the city. Any questions for discussion, or do we want to vote? Top
I have
five.
I have a question on, can someone expand on the rotating sculptural programs? I just want to make sure it's what I think it is.
I wrote that. When I went, Anderson Ranch is like a art camp, basically, but for adults, and you pay a bunch of money to go there. So they have a bunch of studios and they have visiting artists come in. It's very cool if you've never been there. They had this awesome big red sculpture. They have a bunch of sculptures there that you can climb and play on. And I was like, that's great. But they said, yeah, enjoy it because it's leaving. I was like, what do you mean it's leaving? So I don't really know of the name of the program, or I would be happy to research it. But they get different ones coming in, and that has like a schedule. That particular one is going all around the country, and it'll stay for like a month or so, and then it'll go to the next place.
South Suburban Parks and Recreation has a similar program.
Cool. Oh, they're right
So
there.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, basically how I've seen it work is you pay the artist $500 to have the sculpture placed. It's still for sale.
Okay.
Like people can purchase it. And this is how Fort Collins does
Yeah,
it, so I'm
I
not
was
sure.
gonna say Old
Yes.
Town, 2 of my sculptures
Yes.
I worked on are still there, but they were
Yeah,
saying they paid for it and then they
yeah.
weren't my sculptures, I worked on them, but they were there commissioned
Mhm.
and then they were still for sale. So
Yes.
anybody could buy them, but
Yes.
they were there on.
Display.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like a sculpture on loan program. But a lot of people do it. Like
It's
it's
a set amount, so even if it gets
Yeah.
sold, it still stays there through a term.
Yes, with the contract. It depends on how hard it is to get out of there. But from what I understand, there's like a contract term with it. But a lot of people do a lot of different things too.
A lot of those sculptures in Fort Collins have been there like 20 years still
Yeah.
for sale. Because they're not at a price point where people can afford, but they're still on display. And so I would assume the contract ran out and Fort Collins would probably have to give them and
In
refill
some
it.
sense, it's not really a rotating.
It can be.
It could be, but.
It
yeah.
can be. It depends on the price point, but sculptures, again, you're talking low end is 5,000 and typically around 20 or more. So it's,
In theory, that could be a condition of it too, so it's like you make it affordable
Yeah.
for people, so it does rotate a little bit more.
yeah.
Yeah, or you can, I don't know that for sure this is how the other program that I mentioned works, but it could be that like all of our different municipalities are contributing a little bit and we're like renting.
Yeah.
And then instead of cashing out 20 grand.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice actually, that I think about the way that we work. We have a small amount of money, but if we could put that there.
Goes from here to here to here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it still gets an artist.
sounds like a job for somebody if we say yes.
The biggest, I could see the biggest challenge with it, just kind of learning through our media and art process, is just the cost of transporting sculptures and pulling them up and creating the platform for them. So I think, again, if you had like a 4-year term, that becomes way more doable than if it's like 6 months, like there's probably limitations to what you can afford to do with the moving and just putting those sculptures in place.
Exactly. And I think like if that's one of the top 5 priorities, we can definitely make it where it's like create a sculpture on loan program. And like that's part of how we're executing it. And then we can talk specifics.
And I would have to say too, the other thing is I would assume the rotating sculptures could not go in the medians because with road safety,
Yeah.
you have a lot of limitations of what type of sculptures can go in there. We learned that too through the meeting. Like no rebar, no reflective. And so again, like that would have to be probably on the sidewalks of Broadway, but couldn't go in the median. Like the median art would probably have its pretty tight stipulations as to what could work if that's possible.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Ready to vote? Okay.
I just learned you can vote twice on that one.
So you can like waive it.
5 votes
Yeah.
for me.
Yes, exactly. If you really want something, you can put all 5 of your votes in there.
I love that. I heard somebody suggest that for like elections years ago.
Can we start over?
I know.
Going back.
We should vote on that.
This is a cool platform.
I know, it's great. No, I'm on the free version. I think it's like you have to pay after 50 participants. So like, it's perfect for.
Did you already do? Did I just write
And
one?
it doesn't like
She also
count
already
up.
does that.
No, it
So
wasn't.
if each meeting gets a section.
There you go. I don't know, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's cool though.
I know, so far it's been working.
Okay.
But yeah, I was looking into like what it had with that space bar, like where it like groups categories. I was like trying to build that as like an app. And I didn't even know it just had that functionality. Yes, it's just there.
I was thinking about writing in that regard.
Maybe we should still be able to build
Based on
it.
conversation.
I know. I know, I have to have the 50% limit.
Yeah.
We can pull Will into that too, get his
Yeah.
his take.
Because I was thinking about reaching out to, at least, what's the name of that?
It's just the timing. It's really hard for me.
That home good
Just
place
so-
right by
And
the apple shop.
Just need to go home and marinate on all of it for hours.
you can,
Something like
like this is the thing, like
It's probably healthy. I'm getting it done.
Like I wanted to get like your brainstorm, brain dump, get some type of like initial collective idea, but like this will be a draft that we can adjust. Like it's a working document, so if we're like, you know what, I know when I said that, said this, but now that I'm thinking on it, maybe we should.
So,
Yeah, I'm just so.
That's
used
my
to
initial thought.
We're all at a table this big,
Yes.
sketching and drawing things and being like, what do you do? So
Mhm. I
this
know.
feels very formal.
Okay. Wait, what?
This feels very formal.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm digital.
do we get beanbags?
I know. Honestly, that'd be great. Okay, everyone finished voting? Good? Okay. Okay, top one, interactive, inviting play, climbing, changing, etc. Then we have a 4-way tie for the next one. Sculptures containing a light element. Sculptures that have a function besides art, planter, trash bin, bench, information sign. Challenge artists to consider tactile and sounds for accessibility. Light up sculpture to bring added warmth and color at night, which I feel like those two go together. Rotating sculpture program. And then we have a tie for all of these. Trees with roots that also serve as shade. Round sculptures that provide a sense of softness against the concrete in buildings. A giant quirky animal sculpture to bring joy and color. Easy to maintain, which can just be a stipulation for sculptures. Having images of plants and flower sculptures, since you find that theme throughout the city, which can also go with sustainability. So they're all interconnected.
Chris, I have a question, because there's new bus stops going in, correct? Is
Yes.
there room for those to have art attached to them?
Maybe, I mean,
Or like, can they be wrapped, or is it is it gonna be advertising that's part of them, or?
there will be advertising part of them. One of the, as part of our agreement, the city will be able to program, I want to say it's 3 of the new bus stops, but I'd have to double check on that, or we can put anything we want in them. But, yeah, the company that we contract with, Outdoor Promotions, will continue to sell advertising for those.
Okay, the last one I had was the traffic cabinet wraps. Again, we only have one that's open. In terms of strategies with the traffic cabinet, oh my gosh, I can't speak. Traffic cabinet wraps, in the corridor. How are we feeling? Do we want to move this to the next meeting where we talk about funding and it could be traffic cabinets and funding? Or how are we feeling about traffic cabinet wraps in general?
Where is it located?
It is on Chenango and Broadway.
So it's right in the heart of this district. Could you put something about, like the second Saturdays, or it's like you wrap it with the new brand for this, for the quarter?
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Let's hold off on talking, think about it. And we'll talk about it when we talk about funding, like I'll add it.
But don't we, sorry, aren't we gonna do another call for around the city with this one? We just, so what we.
Well, we can, or we can reserve it to something specific.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
you
what you're
just got
trying to figure out,
one.
if it's just doing something special for this
Yes.
one, instead of following what we've been doing, which
Yeah.
is doing all.
Exactly. Yeah. So think about it. We'll talk about it at the next one, and I'll send out a doodle poll tomorrow to figure out when that will be scheduled, but I'll start drafting the strategy so we have things to look at. But yeah, my goal is to get everything drafted by April meeting. So it will not be March because that is way too soon.
Next week.
I know, it's next week.
And that
So
agenda
April's
is-
the goal.
That agenda is jam-packed.
Yes, exactly.
Make sure you stop the recording.
Any other questions before we end everything? Okay. Thank you for brainstorming with us.
Can I give a flyer for
Yes,
this?
go for it.
This is an exhibit for Month of Printmaking. This is something I started working on last fall. It's going to be a blue tile gallery in the corridor. I've got 50 Colorado artists and we've got 40 nonprofits that they've each selected. 100% of the sales goes directly